So today we're talking about 5 steps that you can take to position yourself to start your own school. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Cindy Lumpkin and I am a special education teacher who started her own school. So if you are looking for inspiration and the how-to to start your own school, you're in the right place. Now, I get people asking me questions all the time about how to start a school, and I am very upfront and forthcoming with that information. But one of the things that I've noticed is that people get so overwhelmed because there is a lot, but it's not too much that you can't do it. However, today I want to talk about 5 simple things that you can do that will position you to be able to start your own school. Are you ready? All right, let's go. Now more than ever before, the government is giving incentives and money and loans that you don't have to pay back, grants, scholarships, whatever you want to call them, to minority-owned businesses. That is businesses of people of color and women. So if you meet one of those criteria, mark my words, you will have opportunities to apply for this money, particularly when you're doing something that is going to be a betterment for our society. So in order to get in position, you need to have a couple of things in place, starting with a business structure. What am I talking about? Okay, are you going to be a for-profit or a nonprofit? Will you be a corporation, a partnership, or limited liability? You have to pick one of those. The government does not deal or do business with individuals. They do business with businesses. So the first thing you need to do is to determine what your business structure is going to be, and then file that business structure with the Secretary of State in your particular state. Number 2, you have to have a business banking account, and you can get that business banking account after you have established what your business is and registered it with your state. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, isn't this going to cost a lot? No, it might require you to do a little research. However, there are banks out there where you can open a business banking account as low as $25 and no monthly fees. That's right, no monthly fees. How do I know? Because about 6 years ago, I moved from one major bank that was charging me lots of fees that I could not afford to a bank called Fidelity Bank. And I moved from the big major bank to Fidelity Bank because it was free checking and I did not have to have any minimal in my account. And I have been with that bank, I believe, 6 years now. And matter of fact, I have seen it change name. It's no longer Fidelity, it's now Ameris Bank. So I don't know if that bank is where you are, but I am positive that there are banks out there. And sometimes it even just requires us to go into the branch and say, hey, new business, I need a free account. I do not have the money to pay monthly fees. What you have for me, okay? So you might have to do a little legwork, but you can do it. It's out there. Trust me. Number 3, you're going to need a statement of impact. Now, what is that? You need to write up a description of how your business or product or whatever it is you're doing business as, how it impacts the greater society. You are not going to get money from the government or just about anywhere else that you don't have to pay back if all of this is to serve you. So particularly, we're talking about opening up a school. So your impact is whatever niche you're going in with your school while you're opening up your school. And I'm speaking as a teacher, and we know the state of education right now. I know that you can write up a brief description of how your school is different from whatever school or whatever private school, whatever charter school, whatever public school is surrounding you. So develop that statement of impact of how your services are gonna be a greater good for your community. Number 4, when the time comes, file taxes. Now, once again, I keep telling people that because you guys are following me on this journey, you get to bypass some of the mistakes that I made, okay? So I actually had a nonprofit probably about 9 years ago, and I've only had my school for 7 years. So it took me a couple of years before I actually opened the doors of my school, but I actively had a nonprofit that I worked. Now, did I have a lot of money going in and out of my banking account? No, not at all. And I made the mistake of not filing my taxes. I said, surely the government doesn't want to know about how I spent this lousy $100, right? And they didn't, but I still had to say, hey, all I had was a lousy $100. And I don't even know what the form is right now. I can't remember it, but it was just a postcard that all I had to do is check a box that said I had this much money or less for the entire year and sign it. And I didn't do that. And it put me at risk for getting my nonprofit yanked. Thankfully, I was able to say, we're so poor, I don't have enough money to go and hire all of these people who know all this information. Basically, I did not know. So anyway, I got it back. So you need to file your income taxes no matter how much money you had or how much business you did, because a lot of times when you're applying for grants or these types of loans that you will be given, they want to see some financial statements, right? So a little bit is better than none. Go ahead on and file your taxes. Now, the fifth and last thing is I have a small Facebook group of teachers and parents who are interested in starting schools. I welcome you and encourage you to join it. Now, don't just join it. Come in and engage. Ask questions, provide feedback. Let us know how you're doing. You don't know, one of the biggest things that I always tell people is the fact that how lonely this process over the last 7 years have been. Because there's not many people who have the audacity to believe that they can actually start the school, right? And even thinking back on it now, I'm like, oh my goodness, I thought that I could start a school, and I actually went out there doing it, not knowing that I was going to eventually find myself with a school. Because once again, I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I did not have a whole bunch of cash on hand to start out with. Now, did I fundraise and get a couple of thousands? Yeah, but listen, trust me. If you're looking at this video and even entertaining anything that I'm saying, then you have the same ability to do what I did. And one of the things that I look back now, I wish that I had other people that I could bounce ideas off of, that I could ask questions of. So I invite you to join that Facebook group, get in, engage, ask questions. Bye.